It's the Slam Dunk.
Now, I don't know how much scrutiny this has got, but this is off the National Party Facebook page. They posted this, but it's quite unbelievable and worrying, and shows you where their thinking is at. Not Nationals, but I'll get to that shortly. Who would you trust more, a gang member or a New Zealand police officer? Just for a minute, consider that statement. Who would you trust? Who would you prefer to run into late one night in an isolated place, say a dark alley or a dodgy end of town on your own? Who would you really prefer to run into, a gang member or a police officer? Now, to show you where their thinking is at, quite incredibly, Garner from the Green Party said this during the recent debate on gangs and banning patches. Have a look at this.
For many people in New Zealand, they would feel safer alone with a patch member than the police.
Really? Did you really just hear that? I assure you, you did. I'll play this again just so you aren't confused.
Then I'll go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like,
Would you rather be walking down a dark alley and see a patched member or a police officer? For many people in New Zealand, they would feel safer alone with a patch member than the police.
I find it incredible that that's where their thinking is at, and they choose to say it. They back the gangs head of New Zealand's law enforcement agency. Is that what they're saying? The Greens have always been a movement and a movement of activism. I get that, but it's gone to the next level. To me, this confirms they're not just an activist movement, but they're deluded. I'm trying to understand their statement. It may be because they have whānau in gangs, and maybe it's their whānau that they're walking down the dark alley into. Or I understand that much more. Is that why? They don't say so. I've been on Marae with gang members as part of whānau tangi and so forth, and the gang members have been totally respectful, as they have to be. I also know gang members, and I would have had zero issue walking into them late one night as well, because I know them. I'd be wary about where we're going and what we're getting into after that, but I understand it. But MPs are leaders, and they make statements that carry weight. And this statement said generically, who would you rather run into, a cop or a gangster? It's just so wide of the mark of where I think New Zealanders are at, where the general public are at, and out of touch with how the majority of the country, I think, feel about this. I mean, do the Greens think that this will attract some support? From who? If they're after the gang vote, they have to battle the Māori Party for that. And I'll add that it's a huge insult to the cops, who sure they have the old rough diamond, we know that, who offends and are held to account. But largely the surveys show they're trusted and have worked hard at becoming more diverse and more representative and more trusted over the years. On the whole, we have a very good police force. If anything, I wonder if they're too soft in some parts, in my opinion. Gangs, yes, they're there for the brotherhood and all that. I get that. But they're overwhelmingly doing bad shit too. Organised crime and drugs and violence is a big part of that. Come on, stop kidding yourselves. Police or gangs? Gangs it is for the Greens. And they want to govern the country? Now, I'm not a religious man, but Lord, please help us out here.
Duncan Garner, live.